welcome back to my YouTube channel with me, Diana Rikasari. And today is another round of Tips Day. So, ever since I started blogging and I joined the Instagram world, I've been receiving quite a lot of hate comments on my Instagram and on my blog. And so a lot of people ask me, how do I deal with these mean comments? How do I handle haters? So I thought it would be useful for me to share with you guys on how I handle these haters. So, are you guys ready? Step number one is to be able to differentiate between hate speech and criticism. Hate speech, as I quote from a definition, is a term for speech intended to degrade, intimidate, or insult. And hate speech carries no meaning other than the expression of hatred. As you see, the intention of a hate speech is to just really make you feel bad. Whereas criticism, it's actually good for you. Criticism is actually a constructive feedback. So we really need to differentiate that hate speech and criticism is very different. So don't always think that when someone is leaving you a comment that you don't really like, it means that it's hate speech. It might be criticism and it might be useful for you. For example, if I'm posting an OOTD post, let's say I was wearing olive green, and then someone leaves a comment and says, Diana, I don't think olive green works for you, it makes you look dull. That's not hate speech, that's totally fine. She's just criticizing me and giving me input that the color olive green does not work for my body or for my skin. So it's totally fine. But hate speech is when it's just like, you're weird, you're ugly, oh my god, Asians. It's like, what does it even mean? They don't mean anything, they're totally rubbish. So that's hate speech. So the first thing is to differentiate that hate speech and criticism is different. Number two, if the comment you are receiving is a form of hate speech, the easiest way is to stay calm and smile. Because as much as you like to be out there in the world, you also have to accept the fact that there's always pros and cons in life. So when you're out there in the world, especially on social media, you have to accept that some people will like you, some people will love you, some people will just hate you. Now, somehow, as human beings, we tend to weigh these haters more than the people who love us. So even though there's like 90 people who loves us, but then if there's 10 people who hate us, we think that our life is like over. And we forget that there's 90 people out there who actually love us compared to these 10 haters. So we have to just like accept that that's life, there's gonna be haters. So just stay calm and smile and think of that other 90% of the people who love you. Number three, if these hate comments keep coming, please ignore. Because as I said earlier, in life you can't avoid haters. Even Blair from Gossip Girl said that you're nobody until you're talked about. Now when people talk about you, it can be something good, it can be something bad. So if some people talk about you in a mean way, you just have to practice yourself to ignore and just like shut your ears, ignore the noise, and just focus on your life, because it's so much more important to focus on your work, your family, and don't waste your energy and time for things like this. Number four, do not retaliate. There is no use in spending or wasting your time in trying to justify to your haters why they should not hate you. For example, if someone leaves a really bad comment and says, oh my god, Asians, you don't need to retaliate and say, what's wrong with being Asian? Like, where are you from and stuff like that. Basically, you don't want to create a long thread and discuss about something that is totally rubbish and nonsense. Number five, if you think that this hater is really bugging your life, I suggest you confront. Yes, confronting can be very useful and it's totally fine. But I suggest if you want to confront, do it privately, not in public. For example, I have been receiving this hate comment from the same person over and over again. So I thought that, you know what, I think this is starting to get really annoying. I should confront her. But I don't confront her in public. So what I did was I visited her Instagram account, I checked her email, and then I sent her an email. And I just said, excuse me, do you have any problem with me? Like, what have I done to your life that you're leaving really mean comments on my Instagram? Now, did she reply? She didn't. But did she stop commenting? Yes, she did. So I think sometimes it's good for us to stand up and speak up and show that we are not so weak, you know. Like, usually these haters, they'll, you know, back away because what I know, haters are usually, no offense, but they're actually very weak. They like to hate because they're actually projecting their own weakness or their lackness of things. So yeah, don't be scared of haters. Sometimes just confront them to make them stop and make them understand that what they're doing is really bad. Number 6. The most difficult thing to do, but I always believe, is that when people hate you, love them back. So I believe that, you know, life is karma. When you do good things, you get even better results or better things in return. So if people hate you, don't like just hate them back, but you know, you try to love them and find out why they hate you. So for example, there was this forum, a fashion forum, and I found this thread and they were talking about fashion bloggers, and I read on this thread that they were discussing about me. And in that forum, I read that they were making fun of me, of my blog, they were making fun of my face, of how I look, of how skinny I am. And interestingly, in that forum, I could actually see the names of the members, and some of them were actually fashion bloggers that I know. So that was really mean. And I'm like, wow, I actually know this girl and she's talking about me like that on this forum. So the first thing that usually people would do would be very upset and get angry and maybe hate her. But I told myself that I shouldn't hate her. I should just like try to find out why she hates me. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna try to befriend her, because even though we both are fashion bloggers, we're not really friends in real life. So I tried to befriend her by being nice to her in real life. We actually met a couple of times in events and we actually chatted. And in real life, she was actually nice to me, and I just tried to also be very nice to her, and I pretended that I don't know that I read the forum and all. But yeah, so I just felt like, you know what, I'm just gonna be nice to her in real life, and if she still wants to talk about me behind my back or in the forum, I really don't care, because that's none of my business, and I really don't know what else she wants to say about me, because at the end, I know that I've done my job. I've done my job to be a nice person. And if she still hates me, then it's none of my business. So I'm just gonna always love them back. And the last one, number 7, as Taylor Swift said, haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. You see, even after you ignore them, you confront them, you try to befriend them and love them back, if they still hate you, then that's it. Haters gonna hate. There's nothing else you can do, because some people are just pure mean and very bitter in their life, and it's none of your business, because you don't have to be a hero for people and try to save their lives and make them become a better person, because no, there's a lot of things that's happening in our life. We should just focus on what we are doing. We focus on our life, our family and friends, and our job, and stay productive and stay happy. So haters gonna hate, and just say bye-bye. So that's it, my tips on how to handle haters step by step. I hope you find my tips useful, and if you still receive hate comments from people, just remember, refer to number 2, 3, 4, which is to ignore, do not retaliate, and confront if necessary. And at the end, love them back or say bye-bye. Haters gonna hate. So thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Please show some love by leaving comments and also liking this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye! Thank you so much! Hi everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today is Triple the Fun with
Sisi Presilia.
Ikan hiu, dolphin.
Emang keren ya?
Yeay!